Billie Eilish comes with a lot of complexities. Uh, Listen, man, the way my universe works is back in my day, people would talk about music or play songs, or the consensus would come out of a radio back in my day. And it became an interesting time when all this streaming stuff happened, right? You had a platform where people were now able to get a huge library and nice use that as a springboard to reach more people and like have this big discography, and certain people took advantage of that streaming accessibility. And I had always heard the name, even from the earlier albums. I can't even tell you which one it was or whatever. But just the hearing simple things like Bad Guy just kind of kick in the background, and just, you know how things get overplayed, or it becomes such a normalized thing that it becomes too much of it at certain points. But deep inside all that complexity was more. You could Bangers or pop sensation hits are always gonna hit because they're engineered to really bring out certain emotions, get you feeling certain groove, and that's partly why I really enjoy music in its own right. But when you can hear something, understand how overplayed it is, but still really focus on what makes it unique or special, that's how you know you got something special on your hands. So, while as a person who gets irritated by things that get overblown to proportions, I believe it's still important to be able to understand why those things are being appreciated for certain reasons, and to bring out your own personal opinion. Now that makes things very complicated, because not only now are you acknowledging that this source of music has potential and has creative essential, but now you're putting that aside and you're reserving certain beliefs, certain emotions, certain thought processes, certain standards, right? And that's when things can get a little weird. Now, we all know that America, Japan, pop sensation, idols, fans, this whole shtick of like becoming the guy from from Spy Kids in 3D, the guy. Everyone has like this kind of sensation going on recently, but we all know that like things can get too far. People are very capable of feeling emotions very personally, very intensely, perhaps very one-sidedly, and that's where things get kind of weird. Here, James Cameron, one James Cameron, yes, that James Cameron, yes, Terminator 2, yes, Avatar, yes, Titanic, James Cameron, has decided to team up with one Billie Eilish, which already should be something that rings bells. Icebergs. But then they decide to turn it up a notch, and they said, listen, I am Mr. Titanic. I am Avatar 3D man. We are gonna make this movie or this film, this documentary essentially, with 3D in mind. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is where things get very excited. One man said, a wise man once said, this is where the fun begins. So, we essentially have a very nicely well done James Cameron directed with Billie Eilish having direct input documentary slash interaction with a venue slash concert in Billie Eilish's Hit Me Hard and Soft tour, which we'll get to that title later for reasons. But man, I can't I can't even tell you how long it was, but when that one rapper artist guy made a movie about how the friend died and all this stuff, I can't even remember the rapper's name. And I took all that information and I reviewed it, and I was like, okay, so that was actually the rapper in the movie trying to present something that happened in his past, but re-dramatizing it in this new format, and covering loose ends or whatever. And from that moment, I realized something was happening in the music space, right? What was happening, I couldn't put my finger on it completely, nor did I want to jump the ship and really get ahead of myself. But to me, I believed I was seeing the music industry want to get more involved in the movie cinematic industry to try to get a wider platform. Let's just assume that the only thing we're doing out here is trying to make more money, or perhaps just tell a story. That's what I like to believe. And these people decided to come around and present their stories in a new format, trying to get a different audience or trying to talk to different people, maybe, perhaps. And so far, we've had a bit of ups and like differentialities, because we've had retro concerts like Queen's New York Square show showcased in IMAX, so one is able to see the past today enhanced and really get a vibe of being at that concert at that moment. And we've also seen more and more music sensations. Like, I think that one chick is called Charlie EXE, yeah, something like that. She's been doing movies, and I think her movies are completely like original stories or something like that. So you get that angle. And also, I remember Starboy, The Weeknd. The guy who is The Weeknd is the guy that originally started this movie sensation thing going on. And we go down the line, down the line, down the line, down the line. And we get to James Cameron directing Avatar 3. Yes, Way of the Water. Fire and Ash, Fire and Ash. And from that point is when we started hearing word of a collaboration between James Cameron and Billie Eilish. And I believe we talked about it in one of the weekend segments, but seeing that, hearing about that, and trying to piece it together, trying to see what in the universe could a James Cameron and one Billie Eilish, i.e. the girl who sang, the girl who played Sally in the Rose Bowl's Tim Burton's presentation of The Nightmare Before Christmas live in symphony, with Danny Elfman and Billie Eilish performing as Jack and Sally. So from that moment, what could a musical talent as passionate and quote unquote inspiring could one combine with the power of directorial power, intensity of one inspiring Terminator 2 creating James Cameron? What would their creation, their idea, their vision combined end up becoming? It's easy to say. It's a concert. It's a concert. Realistically, it is a concert. If you ever gone to Ticketmaster or whatever bullshit site you have to pay this time, you go, you get your ticket, you get your phone, they scan you, you walk in, you either choose the pit or you go look for your seat upstairs, and you're there. You got an hour, 2 hours, depending on how many people are playing that night. And you are there for the rest of the night, depending on how long you're gonna be there. And it's up to you to choose what songs you are able to maybe take breaks in between of, and choose how the flow goes. A concert is a concert, is a concert, is a concert, and we love that. A concert being displayed in Dolby Digital, which is, you know, the big speakers and the 4K HDR coloring. Very nice touch. I appreciate that, Cameron. And having that come together while introducing James Cameron's directorial presentation. So you got the concert with the music, with all the fancy lighting and the colorings on the screen, and you got James Cameron presenting a documentary of how certain moments, certain moments how lead up to the big concert moments, presentations. What does that mean? It means we gave Billie Eilish a GoPro, a very expensive GoPro. It's a very intense camera. It's IMAX camera or whatever camera. And we have her go in there, and essentially it feels like we gave her like a Insta 360. It's like one of, oh wait. It's like a 3D camera. You carry that around. It's honestly what we use for the motorcycle videos. And if you have that presented, and you have your 3D glasses, and you have your shiny visuals, and your super loud as bocinas, and then you have moments of Billie having like a personal interview with James Cameron. Like, James Cameron is interviewing Billie right before the concert. And you have all those moments sort of inserted at the right musical shifts for the concert. And it works, and it works, and it works, and it works. And seeing them, number one, kind of showcase how they come up with the ideas of how they want to present this specific documentary while doing it, while also giving you a super personal experience that really feels like Billie is in your face or hanging out with you, because that is what these cameras do in this generation. And her showcasing the behind the scene moments in real time as they're about to happen for the concert people really helps cement or create this full picture of what it means to present in a concert. And that's crazy. That's crazy. It feels like someone said something that wasn't supposed to be said. Like this, it's not supposed to work like that. But somehow Cameron and Billie were able to create something very, very personal. And that goes from a experiential moment where you really feel like you're joining her in that presentation of a concert. You're there with her, you're trying to like just get through the set list. And then you're also presented with that very in-depth interview of how her music works, how for her personally, how her music works, how she's represented, and how she feels about going out there and presenting these songs, what they mean, what they have done. And again, it gets weird when you have people, you know, like taking things personally. But damn, when you present someone like that, and you go out of your way to make it seem personal, things things happen, you know what I mean? So I don't know how that works out, but real talk, Billie, just like something like Justin Bieber, right? The fact that it became a popular thing never bothered me. It makes sense logistically. If people are gonna like it, or if it's gonna be a big sensational thing, people are gonna gravitate to it. My personal question becomes, what is it about the structure or this whole package that made people feel, or, quote unquote, fall in love with the content? And I've been watching her slowly grow as a person, right? Uh, I know she used to tour with her brother Phineas, and like Phineas is such a cool dude, and to me Phineas is such a cool dude because of how much he composed, like all those musical moments and all those beats that really spoke to me, at least from the original sense, all came from the homie Philip. So, or yeah, Phineas. So I can't put that aside. But also seeing how she's come around now, and how she's had to manage this sort of anxiety of being this person, while also becoming the person and accepting her role, and just that is not an easy thing to do, and one wholeheartedly respects that, and it is impressive to say the least when you are able to commit to something that most people wouldn't be able to fathom. Let's go with that. So, what does that say for one? What does that mean, and how do I feel? Man, to go from someone who, quote unquote, presented themselves as like the crazy kid, the it kid, the wild child, I and to be able to wholeheartedly present one's emotions or spiritual sense, while also being like very honest, is not an easy thing to do. And I'd like to believe that that's what I latched onto. That is what that is what people around the universe latched onto, as a sense of like, oh, this artist's music saved my life, or they hit at the right time, or blah blah blah. And you hear people say that about their favorite artist all the time, because it means something. It means something different to every single person. And that is the power of becoming the icon. That is the power of being the guy from Spy Kids, 3D. Told you we come back around to it. But being the guy is a responsibility, and it's not the easiest crown to wear. So to see someone carry that crown with pride and be able to have fun with it, right? Specifically, present herself in the way that she wants to present herself, which, side note, I think it says a lot about yourself, or your person, or whatever, when you can look at a setup and you go like, you know what? I don't know why you would wear that, but it looks cute on you. And then you move on with your life, so that's just something that I feel that comes with wholeheartedly looking past all the superficial shit and trying to find really what's underneath. And it's crazy and it's stupid, and I really dislike that I am able to say that this woman has done just that. As someone who takes pride in being very stable and secure and myself in the way that I believe in myself, it's very impressive whenever someone is able to shake that for a second and bring me into their universe and make me appreciate that. Make me appreciate being forced to reflect upon your moments and see that in a different light. And yeah, it's again, at the end of the day, like whatever image of Billie Eilish you've had in your history or whatever presentation you see her as, there is still a human deep underneath all of that. And that human really, really likes puppies. And that does bring a smile to my face. So, if you still feel sad that Jack didn't make it at the end of Titanic, then you can swing over to the theaters and watch James Cameron redeem itself and make you cry all over again with Billie Eilish's beautiful, beautiful songs. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it's all about. So, it's in 3D. I'm not sure if they're going to present it 2D as well, but I would highly recommend trying out the 3D at least once. Go to a movie theater that has really good speakers. Try the 3D version. It is James Cameron, the guy who did Avatar, so you know that his post-production 3D is on point. My seats were shit yesterday because the place was packed, but even those crappy seats, the 3D looked good and it was worth it. So do that, enjoy yourself, bring some tissues for reasons. But yeah, man, it's nice to see just like the behind the scenes of like what these creators have done and what it takes to really present themselves in this way, and it brings you reasons to kind of respect it in a different limelight. And at the end of the day, I really felt that that's what they were trying to do with this, and damn, they did a damn good job of making it happen. So that's it, man. I have a few vinyls. One of them is Happily Ever After with Billie Eilish, and that was quite a moment in my universe. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate James Cameron for making Terminator 2, even though unfortunately it didn't help us. We didn't learn anything from his wisdom, and now we are here. So, in the year of our Lord 2026, if you have time, if you have a chance, go to the movies, go check it out. We're helping out the music industry, we're helping out the movies industry, we're helping out James Cameron create Alita Battle Angel Part 2, and we're helping Billie Eilish get a new lease in life, which, you know, everyone deserves to be happy, right? So especially people who are out there making other people happy. So from the bottom of my heart, as someone who really cares about the universe and the people that are living in it, and all the animals and all the beings that have to work together to make this whole thingy spin, thank you. I appreciate you, and I love you. So, it's all that. It's been your boy, EXP 626, wishing you buenos dias, buenos tardes, and an awesome mañana. But until then, thanks for watching. Ciao. Matane.